folks, welcome to Follow the Leader, a podcast focused on telling character-driven stories through the use of GM-less tabletop games where we can all take the lead. You can find us on Twitter and Tumblr at FTLcast. Today we're playing Karma by Gareth H. For those of you who are new to this game, here are the basics. Karma is a narrative story creation game about people surviving in difficult circumstances, where the goal is to tell and partake in amazing stories with your friends. It is part theater, part storytelling, and part role-playing game. Unlike traditional role-playing games, Karma focuses on collaborative storytelling rather than having one player function as the game master. In Karma, Karma, everyone will contribute equally to the telling of the story by acting out scenes and role-playing them with the other players.
Could you say potentially that someone might, not take the lead, but everyone could take the lead?
Whoa!
Maybe?
What a concept, right?
Potentially.
There is also no winner or loser in Karma. The prize is an amazing dramatic story that you and your friends will remember for a long time to come. I'm Kales, and you can find me at Citadel of Swords on Twitter, and my pronouns are they, them. Playing with me today, we have...
Hi, my name is Mab. You can find me on Twitter at Little Lady Mab, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, I'm Han. You can find me on Twitter at Mercutios, and you can find the games that I write at gumroad.com/Mercutios, and my pronouns are they, them.
I'm Alix. You can find me on Twitter at Kismet Nemesis, and my pronouns are they, them.
Hi, I'm Dora. You can find me on Twitter at HarpyDora, and my pronouns are also they, them.
Our lines, which are things we absolutely do not want to see, are homophobia and transphobia, racism, sexism, violence against children and animals, sexual assault, domestic violence or intimate partner violence, attacks by dogs, and unwanted pregnancy. Our veils, which are things we're fine with addressing but will just fade to black on, are steamy situations and graphic descriptions of bodily harm. Now that we've got all that, let's get started.
Where does heart eating fall on the graphic depictions of bodily harm?
Well, you can say it, but don't describe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't be like, and then this viscous fluid just flowed all over her hand and blah, 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 blah.
Thank you.
So, one of the cool things about Karma is it comes with different playsets, kind of like how some other games like Follow do. But Karma gives you a kind of toolkit to create your own playset, and we actually did this because we wanted to play as lady demon hunters in a pseudo-Victorian era. So we created our own playset for this, and playsets include things like character archetypes, character relationships, and a set of world-building and character-building questions that we got to go through. So the description that we have for our playset is, something stalks the streets. There are whispers of demons hunting poor, unfortunate souls. Anyone might fall prey to them, rich or poor, young or old alike. It's our job to stop them. So, we have a set of world-building questions that we have to go around the quote-unquote table and answer. And, Mab, if you don't mind reading off the first one and answering it.
Yeah. The first question that we have is, what are the signs of the demon infestation? And I think one of the best signs is that there are no signs of the demon infestation unless you know where to look and what to look for. So those who have been quote-unquote initiated into the demon hunting know the different signs and aspects of it, but the layperson doesn't quite know. They'll know that something is wrong, but they won't know. They'll just think like, oh, they were such a nice person. As you hear on all the news clip these days, I never would have guessed, until he goes off and starts eating hearts like a demon. No offense to Dawn, who does eat hearts.
She's not offended easily. Next question is, how are demons coming into our world? And I think that this is actually a good question for Me to answer, huh? So I think the way that they come into our world, your world, is is that I think that like there are cracks in reality, and I think that those cracks are opened by human intention, but like not necessarily conscious human intention. And so like demons can slip in through those cracks in sort of the walls between realities.
Okay. How long have the demons been able to come to our world? I think that they've been able to come through for a very long time. And they've sort of been walking around making deals, eating hearts, without us noticing or knowing for a very long time. It's only recently that it started to be like attacks, which I put in air quotes, as opposed to just them blending in, and it almost feels like it's only recently that they've started like hunting for sport as opposed to like doing their jobs.
Okay. So, are there other forms of magic at work here? I think definitely yes. Like, I think that the way magic works in this world is sort of the way that, like, science did a while back. Like, there's some things that we figured out, but we don't exactly know why they work. Like, there are some spells that some people can do. And I think, like, specifically, like, there's, like, you can definitely, like, curse objects and stuff like that. So, like, I don't know, maybe there's, like, a larger sort of pattern that, like, the world kind of, like, or, like, a larger set of rules that the world works on, but nobody has really, like, codified and written them down yet. There's just some things that's like, oh, you know, if you throw salt to your left before you go on an ocean voyage, then you'll get one day of good wind. And it's like, nobody knows why that happens. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do the demon's victims all have in common? There's the obvious, they've all tried to make a deal with the demon, but physically, maybe there's some sort of brand that they get that kind of marks them as having been dealing with demons that only the initiated know to look for.
And the last question is, are we able to spot the demons on sight, or have they been reported to blend in? They definitely blend in fairly well. They'll make themselves known to people, to their quote-unquote victims, to their partners that you're going into business with, deals, you know, whatever those other people are called. And, like, they'll just otherwise just kind of, like, walk around plain as people, and it will you don't really know that it's them until it's too late, or until you again know what to look for.
So the next part of the playset is we all create our characters, and each character has a name, obviously a role picked from the roles listed in the playset, a description, a virtue, and a vice. So if we want to start at the top, let's introduce our characters.
All right, so I'll be playing Xu Lupe, and uses she/her pronouns. The role that she has is soulbound to a demon. Her description is she has a very imperial bearing, pinned straight black hair and dark eyes. First generation on new soil after family left the mainland. She's silent and still and extremely skilled in what she does. Also, she's terribly blunt and rather cold and has a hard time terming anyone as quote-unquote friends. She is I would say she's a demon hunter. Then we just said at the top that they're all demon hunters, mostly. That's what she does. And her virtue is measured, but her vice is vengeful.
All right. So I am playing a single plucked note at the crack of dawn. She goes by Dawn. She's a demon who hunts other demons, at least, you know, right now. And the description I have for her, she is, well, first of all, she's bigender, so she switches between she, her, or he, him. Kudos to Kavi for coming up with that sort of convention, because why would demons understand human gender? They don't. So he is chaotic, mercurial, and sharp-grinned, quick hands and a quicker tongue. He's a fiddle-playing crossroads demon. So basically, like, Devil Went Down to Georgia, except the devil wins every time, and then she eats your heart. She has straight red hair, sharp freckled face, a slim frame, but, like, super strong because she's a demon. She dresses like she's coming straight out of the turn of the 20th century, so, like, either dresses with, like, a bunch of petticoats, or, like, a shirt and trousers with suspenders and, like, practical boots. She's played by Abigail Harrington, who's very pretty. Her virtue is courageous, and her vice is, rash.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to be playing Annabelle Lee. The archetype I have is that she's the survivor of a demon attack. She's got black hair she, like, messily cuts off herself, and, like, usually has a pen behind one ear, and is, like, complete cloud cuckoo lander. Has a tendency to speak in circles and riddles, and gets excited about things that other people don't necessarily understand. She's very good at what she does, which right now is build weapons and gadgets. She probably would be very good at flying if there was a plane around that she could use. She's still haunted by the attack, which took her 2 partners from her. Her virtue, damn, I'm sorry, Mab. Her virtue is measured, and her vice is vengeful.
Womp womp.
My turn?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm playing Lustrum. He uses she or they pronouns, probably mostly she here. And she is the retired veteran archetype. She is not actually, like, that, like, old. She's just, like, you know, and, like, a, you know, adult, but she retired to be with her wife, Mazarin, who was, like, it's too dangerous to do demon hunting. So she's, like, a very smiley, goofy, you know, Korean East Asian woman. She's based off of Kim Daeon. She is laid back but curious and enthusiastic. And I think here she has, like, a knack for finding things. And she makes her living, like, mudlarking, fishing, and, like, has, like, a little, like, antique store. Her virtue is courageous, and her vice is boastful. So it's not exactly the same, but...
I love her.
I love my wife!
Thank you. She loves you too.
Yay!
Also, she has blonde hair.
So I'll be playing Louisa Lipson. She uses she, her pronouns, and her archetype is the newly initiated. And she's short with long brown hair that she usually keeps in a smart bun. She wears glasses, is usually lost in thought and bad at hiding it. She tends to dress very practically, and is often wearing clothing smudged with dirt or other things. She has dark brown eyes that almost match her hair, and an olive complexion. She likes tinkering things, especially things that catch fire or go boom. Her virtue is measured, and her vice is cowardly.
Everyone's measured or courageous. I love it.
It's fine. It's fine.
We're pseudo-Victorian. You've got to be one or the other.
There are only 2 genders.
Measured and courageous.
Yep.
Oh, I was gonna say last time, like, in terms of dressing, like, wears, like, men's Victorian clothing, like, you know, like, vest, like, jacket, whatever, but has, like, a women's style, like, updo.
Nice.
She's gotta wear pants because she's wading through the mud all the time.
Are we doing Victorian era?
Quote unquote. It was mostly because I read a book that was Victorian demon hunting.
Okay.
And the book was awful, so I wanted to spite it. So,
I thought we were in the present day. Okay. That was not clear.
Just time travel back with Dawn's fashion even more.
Cool.
I thought it was, I mean, it could be, like, you know, modern Victorian if we wanted.
What does that mean?
I was like, what's modern Victorian?
It's like Victorian, but people have cell phones. I don't know.
Like steampunk?
Okay.
Cursed. Podcast over.
Bye.
No, that's good, because, like, Dawn came out of a game that was set in, like, the 1890s, so I could just scale that back a few years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, like, if anything, like, turn of the century makes sense. So, like, you know...
End
like,
of the Victorian era.
Yeah, 1890s, 1900s would be valid.
End of Victorian, start of Edwardian.
Yeah.
Ugh, these millennials.
God.
I know it's not the millennium, but you know what I mean.
The next thing that we have to do is we have character building questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask a question and go around and each of our characters answer it, starting with, why did you decide to start hunting demons?
It might sound cliche, but that is the way of things is the best answer. Vengeance, another. I didn't decide to do so much as what needs must. Yes. And I had to. Sorry, my cat.
Your cat is perfect. Why did I decide to start hunting demons? So, there's a big bad out there, and I owe that fucker a debt that I'd rather not pay. Namely, remanifesting a heart that I devoured years ago isn't very fun, and I would like to avoid it.
Honestly, valid.
It's not fun.
Are you just gonna, like, spit it up going, bleh, here's that heart?
I don't know exactly what the process is, and I'm not going to describe it, because that's a veil, but it's not pleasant.
It involves viscous fluids.
It does. Again, Jade's not even here. We can't talk about viscous fluids.
We'll do it in memory of them.
In memory of them. Like, they're dead.
They're not dead, they're fine.
They're playing D&D.
They're okay, but they died.
But they died.
Okay, why did you decide to start hunting demons? A group of them attacked my block and stole the lives of people I care about. I'm seeking revenge.
So, the reason that Lestrum started hunting demons is it's exciting. You never know what you're gonna get. Just like mudlarking. Sure, it's dangerous, but what's life without a little risk?
Oh my god.
I'm changing my relationship with Lestrum to... No, I'm just kidding.
To wife.
No.
That's my relationship with Lester.
Contempt. My friend, Alan Oglethwaite, was gruesomely murdered. The local constabulary said that the case was unlikely to be solved, but after I began investigating, I discovered the existence of demons. Now, I'm looking to avenge my friend's death and keep deaths like it from happening again.
I literally just thought this was you telling an anecdote, and I was... Like, I've read your answers, but I was still just like, okay.
It was just so matter of fact.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay.
All right, next question. So question number 2 is, what brought you to the city? Do you live here or are you new? The scent of quarry brought me here. I'm neither new nor familiar, but perhaps it is the gun on my back that makes my presence more bearable. She's a gunslinger. She fights with a gun. Just
Good.
I fucking love her.
I love her.
So I don't exactly live anywhere, or demons don't have a home. I'm here because someone here has what I want, and they owe me a debt.
I've lived here for several years now, having moved for work with my partners. My work and also their work. And here I'll stay. It's become home.
I live right near here with my wife Mazur, and I've lived in the area my whole life, and she's the best thing I ever found washed up on the shore.
Oh.
Sorry.
We went full cheese this morning. On
We
Pinterest.
were looking up, like, lesbian wedding memes on Pinterest.
Oh my goodness.
That's extremely valid.
I'm gonna try to read this in a character voice, so that way you don't think I'm talking about my dead friend, Alan.
No, it's okay. I know now. I realize now.
I've lived here for most of my life. My family moved here when I was young enough that I don't remember anything else.
All right. Question number 3. Do you believe this infestation is part of a larger plot? Why? Not so much. It will become one if we are not careful. A dam that leaks will become a flood, but it is not the way of water to make it so. One thing begets another, and the break is just a natural occurrence that must be stoppered if we do not want the worst to happen.
Okay, so my problem here is that I've written Dawn's answers so she has an extremely thick Irish accent that I can't do, but I have written in sort of the accent, and now I have to translate.
Please, just once.
No, I can't.
No.
I literally can't. So, demons have been slipping through the cracks as long as there have been demons, but usually only the wily ones like me can fit through them. Something's opening wider doorways and poaching my meals out from under me, and I'm not happy about it.
If it was part of a larger plot, wouldn't someone have made a bigger move by now? Wouldn't these attacks stop being random? Which is what it feels like. If anything, this is just the hounds of hell playing with their food.
Kales, I definitely did think you were just talking.
This is how I actually feel too, though.
Okay, fair.
All right, Lustrum says, maybe? I've been out of the game a little while, so...
I like that Lustrum says.
Oh my goodness. I don't know much about the ways of demons, but I do know about Occam's razor. Is it more likely to believe that there are just dozens of unconnected murders that happen to be like what demons do, or is it more likely someone is controlling the demons?
I really love the disparity between you guys being like, I'm here for revenge and demons, and then Lustrum's just like, I'm here to have a good time.
Right.
I love Lustrum so much.
Listen, someone here has to have a positive outlook on life. That's also not just eating the hearts of the living.
Rude.
Annabelle did.
Did? Yeah. Lupe never did. She's just dark. Question 4. Are you a practitioner of arcane arts? That my heart still beats, some might consider arcane, or divine, depending on which side of the barrel of my gun you're on. But it is not a practice I actively take to. Agreements with demons simply result in such things.
Dawn says, the arcane arts are for humans who want easy power. What I do is at the core of my being, the way plants make air and fire makes heat. Besides, I'm just a damn good fiddle player, nothing arcane about it.
Annabelle says, I dabble. On occasion.
Lustrum says, just enough to know when objects are cursed and when there's traps in front of me most of the time. I tend to be pretty lucky, though.
Louisa says, no, they're unpredictable and finicky. Science is my weapon of choice in this fight. It's reproducible, quantifiable, and reliable. Black powder will explode every time. An incantation will fail if you mispronounce a vowel.
What a nerd.
Checkmate, atheist.
Listen, I'm really glad that Lupe can go to you for gunpowder.
I wasn't even thinking about that at the time, but you're right.
So number 5, when this is taken care of, do you plan to move on? I was dying when I started down this path, and I imagine that she will leave me much in the same state as when she found me.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know, you have to ask Dawn about that.
Do I plan to move on? I plan to do what I always do when this business is over. Time don't work for me like that.
Do I plan to move on? As long as part of this city still stands, I'll be here.
Lustrum says, definitely. It took a lot to convince Maz to let me do this at all. I need to get back to her.
Louisa says, I will go where I'm needed. If that means moving on, I'll do it. If that means moving on, I'll do it. If there's more to be done here, I'll stay. The important part is preventing what happened to my friend from happening to others. So the last thing that we had to do is we had to decide. There's a list of relationship types that our characters can have with each other, and so we have to have relationships with the other characters in the game. So if we would like to describe our relationships with each other.
All right. So, Lupe's relationship with Dawn is that she owes Dawn a life debt, in as much that if you guys haven't put it together yet, she's soul-bound to Dawn. They're kind of, working together on a vengeance plot. With Annabelle and Lustrum, she is tensely cordial. Mostly she is tensely cordial with everyone that she meets. And Louisa, she sort of views as a strange little protege. And doesn't quite know what to think of Louisa, but hey, gunpowder. And she's eager enough, so yay, thanks. I'll take this gunpowder.
All right. Dawn is friendly with everyone, with the added bonus of Lupe owes her a life debt. She's going to get a snack after all this.
Yep.
Oh, now I want a snack. Annabelle... Annabelle is tensely cordial with Lupe and Dawn, loyal to Lustrum, sort of thinking about that as like a mentor-protege relationship, but Annabelle and I both prefer to think of her as being loyal to Lustrum instead of viewing her as a mentor figure. And then she's also friendly with Louisa because they both like to make things go boom.
Okay. So Lustrum, sees Annabelle as her protege a little bit. She's friendly with Louisa and friendly with Lupe, no matter what Lupe says. Is suspicious of Dawn just because Dawn is a demon, but like not suspicious in like a deep dark way, just like, you're a demon, huh? And says that. Like out loud.
That's a thing, huh?
Huh.
Huh. Alright, as far as Louise is concerned, she's friendly with both Annabelle and Lustrum. With Lupe, she views Lupe as her mentor. And she's suspicious of Dawn because, Dawn's a demon, and she's willing to, not try to kill Dawn because Lupe seems to trust her, but,
You're on thin fucking ice, buddy.
Yep, exactly. So now that we've got our characters and our setting, we can start playing. And play happens in sets of scenes. So there are there are 3 scene types. There's, we have our opening scenes, which is where we kind of like frame how our characters got to be here. And they're like solo scenes. There's the scenes that are like the meat of the play, which are cool because, you frame the scene and you have, whichever characters in them that you want to have, but also the people who are not in the scene have the ability to throw in a complication, which is where the cool stuff comes in play. Complications require you to roll 2d6, and depending on whether or not you roll high enough to kind of pass that complication roll, will determine whether that complication comes to pass or you overcome it. And you can optionally use some of your karma pool, which is a pool of dice that you can pull from if you want to add a positive die to your roll to encourage a positive outcome. Then that kind of like shifts your karma pool into the negative. If you want to add a negative die because you think the complication is interesting or fun, that shifts your karma pool into the positive, and this will affect your outcome later because you'd use your karma pool to roll to determine what your epilogue scene is. And so we've got cool little karma trackers that Jade made for us from the last session. And karma goes from 5 positive dice to 5 negative dice, and the sliding scale in between is the number of positive and negative dice that you roll for your outcome scene, or for your epilogue scene. Everybody starts at 3 positive, 2 negative, and it'll move throughout play generally. Now, let us begin.
Lupe's opening scene is not necessarily like, we're not going to be full-on spaghetti western and she's riding into town or anything like that, because she's already there. But I think it's definitely a bit of her looking through newspapers and seems to be looking for something in particular. And I think by this point, people have picked up a little bit enough on the fact that there are some people who go around solving problems, TM, and not necessarily knowing that they're, the source of the problems are rogue demons, but, in a way that Lupe is enough of a familiar figure with what she does that she can get information from like any police force or things like that to help her aid her investigations. So the opening scene is her like pouring through documents and looking at I I guess old-timey photos. They do have like some crime scene photos because no one can move, so it's fine. And just kind of like, not putting together a crime board, but seems to be putting together information, at least within her own head, underlining things and making notes in margins in her little shorthand that she has, and basically just kind of like putting the facts together.
Okay. So there's basically no rules for this opening. It's just like literally just do an opening.
Yeah.
It's like doing
Okay.
a solitaire.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow, now you're speaking my language.
I don't know if you've ever heard of like firebrands or.
Oh fuck! Wow,
Wow, what is this game?
What's that?
Have you heard of Divine Mundane?
Ooh, that sounds like a great game that you should go to gumroad.com/Mercutios to purchase for yourself.
I'm gonna have to leave that in because that was a real good plug.
Thank you. I feel like it was smooth. Okay, so I think Dawn's opening is you get I don't think we've ever done a fucking like tavern scene opening, so that's what we're gonna do.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just like she's a rowdy girl. She's a rowdy girl. And is like fucking just like on a table in some bar, just like going at it with another fiddler and just like doing the fucking dueling fiddles bullshit. Yeah. And like there's like a moment where like the camera slows down because someone else has entered the bar, and it at first glance it doesn't look like anyone, like it looks like just a normal person, but Dawn like freezes and like just basically books it out of there, like smashes a bottle to start a bar fight probably, and then books it out of there.
There we go.
Like out the back door, because this is definitely an agent of the person that she owes a debt to, who she needs to not be there. So I think that's her opening scene, is dueling fiddles.
So Annabelle's opening scene is probably a week or so after the attack. She's like in bed in her tiny apartment. She can't sleep because she's got a pretty bad case of insomnia now. And finally she just like gives up, grabs an old sweater that's like definitely too big for her off the back of the chair, goes out to her sitting room, clicks probably guess an oil lamp, I guess, since we're in Victorian times. Gets a light on, and you can see that her entire wall is definitely just a crime wall, complete with the string and the newspaper articles, and the pictures. And she's just kind of staring at it. Like, she, like, reaches out like she's gonna move stuff, from one place to a different one. Like, she's had, like, a realization, and then she, like, stops, and she goes, like, in her head, she's like, now you're just being stupid. But that's how she spends the rest of her night until the sun rises.
I think for Lustrum, like, she's, like, at her house, and she, like, goes to the back of her room and, like, puts, like, like, there's, like, a chest in the back of the room, and she, like, almost opens it, then she, like, hold on a second, and she goes and grabs, like, a big, like, piece of cloth, like a curtain, or like, she just, like, grabs the comforter off the bed, puts the comforter on, and then dramatically pulls it off the chest.
Nice.
And then opens it up, and, pulls out, like, her, like, demon hunting equipment, which I think is just, like, nice sturdy shoes, and, like, some, like, weird little knickknacks that, like, look, like, vaguely arcane, and, like, starts putting her hair up and, like, sort of doing her own little, like, dramatically getting ready, like, sequence. she's just, like, she, like, and then she looks at herself in the mirror and is like, one last time.
Perfect.
And then she kind of giggles about it, and I think that's probably it for her.
So I think Louise's opening scene is her in like the basement of wherever she's living. Let's say she's like sharing a brownstone with somebody at the moment. She's in the basement and she's cooking up some black powder. I feel like she's got, you know, goggles on, and she's got her face is smudged with charcoal, and she's looking at an order that Lupe gave her for a certain amount of black powder, and so she's mixing that up now, getting ready for what's to come.
So yeah, opening scene. I want it obviously with Dawn. And
yeah, of course,
and I've just forgotten everyone's name. And Louisa, if you want to be there, like delivering your order. So I think it's just like at the little tiny like house at the edge of town that Lupe is renting out or anything like that. And she's just sitting there and kind of like waiting for everyone else to, I say everyone else, she only expects 2 people to show up, which for her is more than enough. And, so, you know, like Dawn comes in. I don't know how soon after your other scene it is, but it could also just be like right after you like left the bar and you're like, okay, hey, let's get a move on. So yeah, just kind of like that, and just having a conversation where Lupe is just like, all right, well, here's some information that I found, and what do you think? In your professional opinion as a demon, what do you think?
Dawn is like sitting in, she has commandeered like one of Lupe's like whatever chair is like at her desk, and like has her feet up on the desk and is like tipping back in the chair.
Oh, obviously. Please.
Obviously. Yeah. And she's just like, I don't have a professional opinion. Professional opinions we don't all operate the same way. That's kind of part of the deal. Like, I don't know do you think if I knew how this worked, that fucker would still be alive? That's why I'm here.
He was still alive because he was just stronger than you were, and you didn't have the ability to go up against him on your own.
Well, you don't have to say it like that, but yeah.
That was my professional opinion.
I'd like to introduce a complication.
Please.
There's a knock at the door. And if you succeed the roll, then it's a local urchin child who
a ragamuffin.
A local ragamuffin who knows that this is a place to go if they see something weird happening. And if you fail the roll, then it is a local ragamuffin who is actually an undercover agent of the person that Dawn is running from.
Great.
Oh, thanks. All right. I'm just gonna leave it the way that it is.
Yeah, same.
Well, only one of us needs to do the complication roll.
Okay.
Yeah, the person who's seen it does the complication roll.
Don't answer my door, Dawn.
All right, here we go.
All right, I just rolled 2d6. I've forgotten how to play Karma.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not adding anything.
And...
Whoa! Wow!
Nice.
Remind me
what the 7 and above.
The 7 and above, okay.
Yeah. 7 and above is success. Everything other than 7 and above is a failure.
Cool.
Yeah, so I got a 12. And so 2 6s, baby. So Lupe just kind of like glares at Dawn a little bit and then turns around on her heel and goes to open the door and then glares down at the little child and then just goes, "What?"
Pardon me, but I was told that if I needed any help, I could find you. I'm real sorry, but there's a scuffle and something's not right. I'm sorry. I'll just get going. I'm sorry.
A scuffle?
Yes, ma'am. But but it ain't a normal scuffle.
How is it not a normal scuffle that you can't go get the police to fix it?
One of the folks is on fire.
She just
honey.
deadpans, turns around, grabs her gun, just says, "All right, let's go put this." And she stops and looks at the little child and goes, "Let's put this person off of fire." She's not going to swear in front of a child. I almost said, "Let's put this fucker out," and I was like, "Oh, there's a baby child. Let's not do that." She has some level of decorum. So she looks back at Dawn and just says, "You can stay here if you want. Review the file and see if you think it's the path that we should investigate. I'm going to go take care of this."
I could have told you that it's what we should be investigating. Like, that's definitely what we should be investigating. No, I'm coming with you. Are you kidding? Let's go.
Let's go. And scene.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I clapped.
I was thinking about clapping too. Polite clapping.
I almost
golf clap.
Listen, I almost had Dawn yell "fuck the police," so
Good.
why the fuck would you call the police? Okay, it's my scene, huh?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. I'm trying to think of a good reason for Dawn to go talk to Lustrum.
Because Lustrum's perfect?
I mean, yes, but also... Like, remind me what, like... let's see.
Lustrum is like a retired, like, demon hunter, you know, might, like...
Yeah.
Have they met before?
I mean, we can say, yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not, right? Yeah.
Maybe Lustrum, like, almost hunted you down at one point, but then, like, you're like, nah, I'm cool.
Uh-huh. I'm into that. So, does Dawn just show up at Lustrum's door? Just like, knock, knock, fucker, here I am.
Do you actually say that?
No, I think she knocks. I can do the Foley if you want.
Come in.
Hey.
Oh.
Is this good time? Bad time? I don't really care either way.
Okay. Cool. Rude, but cool.
Can I...
Okay.
Are they at Lustrum's house?
Yeah, yes. Do you want to be Maz?
Is Maz there?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Lustrum just having a nice breakfast with her wife. Or lunch or something.
If they're at the table, Dawn is going to sit down and, like, eat some of their food.
So rude, but, this is my wife, Mazarin. What are you doing here?
Hello?
Hi, I'm Dawn.
Nice to meet you?
Likewise.
She's a demon, but it's cool. It's fine.
Babe.
Like a cool demon. Probably. Listen.
Babe.
Yeah?
So I need your help.
Is it with eating someone's heart?
Not this time.
Maz is major side-eyeing both of them right now.
What are they having for breakfast?
Omelets?
You're supposed to say kidneys? No, I'm just kidding.
God. Yeah, no, she's a rude girl. So she like pulls Lustrum's plate over and just like takes like a fucking bite of this omelet and is just like,
what the fuck?
If you wanted something to eat, I could have made you one.
Nah, it's fine. So you know the we need to come up with a name for this guy, this big bad guy.
That's a thing that should probably happen.
It can't just be Beelzebub, but also what if it was just Beelzebub?
I also kind of like, I think this is the kind of demonry where names have a lot of power. And so like I don't know his name, and that is part of the problem.
We just call him the big boy.
Yeah, you know when I told you about Big Boy a while back?
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna help you if you just keep eating my food.
I was one bite. You'll be fine.
Give it back.
She, like, slides the plate back over.
Oh, I thought you meant the bite.
I know. Is she just gonna, like, puke that up now? Great. Thanks, you guys.
Just gonna be like, blah.
You're lucky that she's been in the human world long enough to know not to do that.
Imagine
Thank you.
the conversations she's had with Lupe, and Lupe is just like, fuck you, don't do that.
Lustrum just takes an even bigger bite and then chokes on it a little bit.
Steady now. Yeah, so he's been on my ass recently more than he should be. And I've got my girl on things, but she's not working fast enough for me.
Alright, so you need my help.
Yeah, like, she's working pretty fast, but not fast enough for me to not get devoured by Big Boy. So, like, I need your help.
I mean, are other people besides you getting hurt?
Probably. I don't really keep track of that.
Alright. Babe, I think I have to do this.
Yeah, alright. Fuck. Sorry, was that... No, you know what? I'm not going to apologize. It's too early in the morning for this. I was just I was just trying to have a nice breakfast with my wife. Then a demon comes knocking on my door. I'm not going to apologize for swearing.
Listen, I think this will be my last one for real.
Okay. I mean, you know I don't fault you for wanting to do this. I just worry you're not going to come home, that's all.
Don't worry, I always have, I always will.
Okay.
Dawn leans forward over the table and is like, we could cut a deal about that.
No.
I do
No.
Are you sure?
Absolutely not.
I do really nice protection wards.
No.
No.
No deals. I know how your kind do deals. No.
What are you talking about, your kind?
Yeah, Maz, don't be rude.
Can that be where the scene cuts?
Yeah.
I mean, we were supposed to have a complication, right?
Oh, were we?
Yeah,
Do you have to have a complication every scene?
Theoretically, but I mean, if that's where the scene needs to end, that's where the scene needs to end.
It can keep going.
I couldn't really think of a good complication to add.
Yeah, the thing was I was thinking the complication would be Maz, but I couldn't figure out how to make y'all roll for that, so I just was like, okay, I think she's just there.
I've got a complication. If you roll, and if you succeed, then the omelet was really good. If you don't, you get food poisoning.
Oh, it's my roll.
That's you, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm
kidding. You don't have to, but...
No, I think it's really funny, though.
I love the sound of confusion of, like, I mean, I guess.
No, I'm just, like, I'm trying to figure out how a demon gets food poisoning.
It was an omelet
food.
made by a demon hunter.
Yeah, and also, like, I think that, like, sometimes... I feel like it's hard to predict when human food will be like, okay. So yeah, let's roll for this. I'm rolling for it. 2d6,
Okay.
fucker.
Awesome! I'm excited about
God damn
this.
We're professional role players.
Alright, it was a great omelet.
God,
Hell yeah.
I rolled a 9. It was
That's
such a good
nice.
omelet.
So you take some more for the road, just like, thanks.
Yep.
God damn it. This roll turned out badly for me.
Yeah, no, she takes the rest of the omelet, and she also, like, probably, like, I don't know, probably takes some more of your food. I don't know. I feel like...
Terrible.
My first thought was she also eats the plate, but I don't know if that's where we're going.
She is a goat.
Just as a power move.
I think she could probably eat whatever the fuck she wants.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can eat a plate.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Whose turn is it?
It's my turn. I sort of want a scene with Louisa.
Okay.
Because I want to tinker.
Okay.
I want to make some bombs.
We can do that.
And Louisa's much better at black powder than I am. Like, I'm fair enough, but...
Yeah, she's confident enough to make it herself, which is a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
because it's not a terribly stable substance.
Yeah, so, like, let's make some bombs.
All right.
I don't know how conversation is gonna go in this scene, but I definitely want to just be hanging out and making some bombs.
Side note to the FBI listening to us, we're not actually making real bombs. Just FYI.
Yeah, just in case there was confusion here. Everything's
Just
fine.
in case you just tuned in and did a shift change, we're good.
Yeah. Just, you know, if you've done a shift change, just listen to our podcast. You can find us at FTLcast on Twitter. Okay.
I
So
do not want the feds listening to our podcast.
Fuck the police.
Yeah, fuck the police.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
kidding, haha. Okay. I'm not kidding. Go ahead.
yeah, so I think Louisa is there and she's wearing a nice like leather apron over some trousers and a work shirt, and she's just like, oh Annabelle, it's a pleasure to see you. I was just cooking up something. Did you want to come in?
Yeah, if you don't mind. And she's wearing, like, ratty old overalls. Got the hair up in, like, a high bun. Well, it's probably pretty short, but, yeah, I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna say she's got her hair up in, like, a high bun with, like, a pen stuck in it.
All right.
And the big glasses.
Oh gosh, so they look very similar in some ways then.
They look very similar, but Annabelle's not wearing a leather apron.
Yeah.
So, it's fine.
You can still tell them apart.
Yes. You can tell them apart because they're palette swapped. I mean, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, valid.
Yeah, so Louisa, like, leads Annabelle down to the basement and is just, yeah, I was just working on some stuff. So sit down. What did you need from me?
Oh, I just wanted to mess around a bit, with powder, specifically.
Ah, yes. I was a little concerned. Oh, goodness. Not that there's anything wrong with that. You're very lovely. Anyway, I'm just going to over here. Did you want me to try to make you a special blend, or did you have anything in particular in mind?
Well, and she's got, like, a notebook that she pulls out, and, like, the pages all, like, unfold, because she's been taking notes, like, a mile long, and then taping them into the pages of her journal. You know how you do? She goes, I've been doing some thinking, right, about how we can possibly make these more effective against the Infernal, and so I just was... Yeah. I just wanted him to play around with it a little bit and see what happened. Maybe we could blow some stuff up.
Well, I mean, you know how I feel about that. Just as long as as long as your notes don't include any particular... I'm not going to do any sort of incantations over my powder if that's what you're thinking.
No. I wouldn't ask anyone to do anything that they weren't comfortable with. No, this is... If I was going to do that, I'd do it myself, but I'm not going to. I'm thinking about mixing substances and, ichor and mercury and the usual.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I was thinking about including some copper filings.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yes, a good burn and, something a little extra in case, in case the initial flare doesn't.
Can I introduce a complication?
Yes.
Sure.
I think that, like, if you succeed, you have remembered to turn off whatever, like, experimental equipment was, like, running, but if you fail, you definitely forgot to, like, turn it off or, like, turn the flame down, and, like, something goes boom.
Something goes boom in a wrong way.
Yeah.
Something goes boom in a bad way. I do want to very quickly say that, like, Annabelle is definitely going to ask about magnesium also to try and make a bright flash. Flash bomb! Let's go!
Oh boy.
Yeah!
so how do I... So, wait. How do I add a negative dice here?
If you add a negative die, then you roll 2d6 minus 1d6.
Okay.
And then I can shift your pool.
Karmic
Yeah.
balance.
Because that, when I roll with a negative dice, that means that I sort of, like, want the bad thing to happen, right?
Correct.
Okay, because I sort of think it would be funny if something went boom. And then that shifts me in a positive direction?
Yes.
Okay.
Negative now means positive at the end.
Okay, so minus 1d6. Okay, because I think it would be really great if something went boom. And I got a 4. I would have rolled
All right.
badly anyway because I had a 2 plus 3. So something goes boom.
And you get to narrate how. So we know something goes boom because it's set up in the complication, but you narrate how things go boom and how you react to it.
Okay, so I feel like there was, how much work does Louisa do with liquids? Because I don't want to, like, establish anything about your character when I talk about this.
I mean, there are things that you can do with liquids that also go boom, like, you know, you've got Molotov cocktails and stuff. So basically just assume that because this is, like, you know, pseudo turn of the century, everything in her lab is flammable and dangerous, and probably not stored according to OSHA standards.
Well, yeah, it's a turn of the century. I'm just, like, thinking that I feel like something bubbles over in, like, a bad way, and, like, hits something that it, like, wasn't supposed to, because it was, like, a beaker boiled over, and there was, like, oh shit, there was, like, something, like, highly corrosive there, and it's gonna... because I want it to boil over, burn through something corrosive, and then hit an explosive? So there's, like, a hissing sound, and then, like, all of a sudden, and then Annabelle's like, oh, fuck, that's not supposed to be happening, right?
Nope.
Okay,
we need to go.
We need to
We
go.
need to get out.
We need to
get
go.
out of here right now.
And Annabelle's gonna grab Louisa's wrist and drag her out.
Yep. And then there's, like, a cartoonish sort of, you hear the explosion, and there's, like, the cartoonish, like, the windows, like, are blown out, and there's just smoke rising out of the windows of the basement.
Annabelle just goes, well? Oh dear.
Oh dear indeed.
Is that gonna be a problem?
We'll wait for the smoke, and then, like, there's another secondary explosion, and Louise is just like, yeah, maybe.
Okay. Well, if you want, you can come crash with me for a bit. It's not like I have very much, but it's something, at least, perhaps.
I think I'd like that, thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Pat. She doesn't say that out loud, she actually pats
Yeah.
Louise on the shoulder. And that's scene, I think. Oops.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we have to start doing some actual legwork now. So, okay, so, like, what's the problem so far? Like, there's, like, we're hunting this specific demon, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The big boy.
Big boy.
So I think... Alright, I want it to be Lustrum and Annabelle, because I want Lustrum to be, like, teaching Annabelle, like, how to, like, look for evidence. Even though Annabelle probably already knows.
She does, but she likes, like, adventuring and stuff. It's fine.
Okay. So there was that fight, right? Is that, like, a crime scene, sort of? Or...
The scuffle with the, person on fire.
The one,
Yes.
the one where Lupe had to go shoot a man on fire. Yes.
Yes.
I also just like the visuals that these two people are fighting. One of them's on fire. Lupe just walks up, shoots the guy on fire, and then just leaves. It's just like, all right, your problem's taken care of. Bye.
All right, bye.
I got better things to do.
I think... Yeah, so I think Lustrum got told about this, and is like, all right, Annabelle, we're gonna go investigate the scene of the crime.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
It's fun. I can't wait for these two to be together.
Lustrum, alright, so Lustrum's just kind of standing there with her hands on her hips, and she's like, alright, what's the first step?
Crap, I have to think about what the first step is. I mean, the obvious first step to me would be examining the body.
Yes, that's very, very good.
That was out of character, but we'll roll with it. It's fine.
Okay. I mean, is the body still there?
Complication. The body's gone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there, like, a smoke, like, outline of it on the ground?
Like an ash outline?
Yeah, there's scorch marks.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
So, what if it's just like, yes, that's very good. However, the body is not here, so what's step 2?
Look at the smoke outline of the body.
Yes, I mean, there's not always a smoke outline, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, there's a hierarchy looking down of, like, looking at where the person was when they died. Maybe.
Yes. Although we know who the killer was, and we're not actually looking for the killer because it was our good friend Lupe, but...
Well, yeah, we're looking for signs of possession and interference by the Infernal.
Yes. So, come over here, and Lustrum, like, goes over and, like, crouches down and pulls out a magnifying glass, and it's like, there's very subtle differences between regular fire and demonic fire. So, just look through and see what you see there.
Okay. And Annabelle's going to... What are the subtle differences, out of character?
I'm not sure. I wonder if there actually are.
I was gonna say, what if, I know I just introduced the complication, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. What if, like, the complication is that, like, you can't see the differences through, like, the materials that you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good complication, honestly.
But we normally can, you mean?
Yeah, like someone has interfered. What if the complication is like someone has interfered with this smoke outline, so you can't see, like, the signs?
So I think Lustrum's just like, all right, so...
Well, I mean, you
look for...
still have to roll for it, or did...
Oh, yes, that's true. Should I roll for it now?
Yeah, so I mean, like, the positive outcome is that you can figure it out, and, like, the negative outcome is that someone did come and tamper with it, is how that would go.
Alright, that's a negative outcome. So the negative outcome is that somebody did come and tamper with it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think, maybe, if, Annabelle, like, is like, I actually can't, like, see that, and, like, Lustrum's like, let me look at it with my expert eye.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. And Lustrum's like, yeah, no, this seems fucked up somehow. That's weird.
Something got messed up here. That's not good.
Well, think about it this way. This is just more evidence that somebody's trying to hide it, right?
I mean, yeah. But it would be nice if we could, like, still see what we were looking for.
Yeah, that's true. Well, what's the 5th step?
I mean, to look around where the body was.
No, that's the 4th step. The 5th step is we're just gonna, like, take a little bit of a break and have some snacks.
Oh, okay. Snacks sound good. I like snacks.
Also, she's, like, being very self-important about all of this, but it's in a very playful way, you know?
Yeah, it's good. It's cute.
Also, you gotta take breaks for snacks.
Yeah, it's important to working.
She didn't get enough omelet, is the problem.
Yeah, no, somebody came and ate her omelet. Somebody.
I don't know who. Who'd do such a thing?
I think that can probably be seen, right?
Yeah, I would say that's probably seen. That's cute, though. That's some good shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want a scene with Lupe and Dawn, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because Louisa has to tell them that her next delivery of powder is going to be delayed a little bit.
Just a bit.
Yeah. And she's probably also, like, covered in soot and stuff because she hasn't had a chance really to change out of the clothes that she's in. She's just taken off her apron and left that at Annabelle's place.
So valid.
So she finds... I'm assuming this is at the place Lupe's staying.
Yeah, probably.
I imagine there's probably, like, a special knock or something.
I also want to establish that, like, I think Dawn is eating something in every scene.
Good. Well, she needs to, her metabolism is probably way different than what she's used to.
I mean, also, yeah.
These human bodies are so weird.
No, it sucks. And also, like, I also don't think she needs to eat. I think she just is. She just does. She's just into it. She likes it. Okay. Doria, hit me with that Foley.
I'm not gonna hit you with that Foley.
Please?
No, I'm not. Sorry.
I like hands desperate. Please.
I can't. I don't have any... Well, I mean, I could knock on a distant wall, but I don't know if it'll...
Lou, there's someone at the door.
I heard it, thank you.
Welcome.
Don't call me Lou. And she just goes and opens the door and looks Louisa up, down, up, back into her face and just goes, "What did you do?"
I was working on things, and I have a couple of new formulas I want to try, but unfortunately, I will be needing to try those from Annabelle's place, because I may have a little problem with my location for the time being while the smoke airs out and it becomes habitable for humans again.
That sound was your place.
Yeah. I mean, Dawn's welcome to try to go down there. I'm sure that with all of the sulfur, she'd feel right at home. Pointed look at Dawn.
Well, that's rude.
I think also you're making bombs to destroy demons. It might not be a good idea to send one down there.
I mean, I'm pretty sure all of the explosions are done now.
Let's not test that.
Just because I'm from hell doesn't mean I like how sulfur smells.
Complication?
Yes?
If you fail, there's another explosion. I'm sorry, Louisa.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I wanted to coincide right with the explosion. The explosion should be done now. So if it isn't another explosion, it's just like, the explosion should be done now. Boom.
Yeah, I'm taking a negative die on this one. I rolled a 3. It's good. It's all good. There's another distant explosion, and this isn't... If this were the modern day, there would be, car alarms going off, but it's not the modern day, so maybe a horse...
There's horses.
Uh-huh.
A cat screams in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, Frau Blucher.
Yup.
There's just a Wilhelm scream. Ah!
Oh!
Yeah.
And like a flock of birds, like, out in the, leaving.
And then someone very faintly in the distance, "I'm okay!" Every single fucking character, every single trope of explosion scenes in movies. All at once.
Yes, exactly.
Lupe just kind of levels you with a stare and just says, "Okay. That sure is something."
Yeah, I'm not going down there.
Yeah, I'm not going to send you down there.
Well, I had some new ideas for some new formulas I will have for you as soon as I possibly can. And there's probably another tiny explosion, and that's the end of scene.
I was gonna say, like, Dawn was like, if you want to make a deal, I could probably fix that.
It just fades out on that.
Yeah.
Dawn's real desperate for hearts, huh?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I don't think she can do much she's not powerful at all unless she makes a deal for it.
You know that scene in Howl's Moving Castle where Calcifer goes like, "Imagine what I could have done with your eyes or your heart." Mm-hmm.